Hello, welcome to this new episode of the Alex Show TV. And as you can see, we have my very good friend Tony. Sorry about the noise in the background, sirens. Hello, Tony. How are you?
Hello, Alex. Good, mate. How you doing? I'm good.
As we can see, Tony is in the out there in a park in London, and as we have had shows in the out there, there's a little bit of noise to handle, but it's fine most of the times.
Yeah.
Tony, we're gonna discuss this time using a video. I found methods of manipulation and discuss a little bit what this gentleman in the video is discussing of this system apparently used by the CIA. We don't know if we cannot validate if it's true or not, but it's very interesting what he says anyway.
Oh yeah.
These four methods of manipulation, and these four methods through different ways to achieve the manipulation, what he calls of a being that he explains that they have to be rational beings in a way. I mean, for example, the autism spectrum, certainly a person with Alzheimer or something like that doesn't apply. I mean, it's you cannot achieve manipulation through these methods, I think. But he says if you are a thinking being, something like that, they claim that these four methods work differently, but they work. So, let's discuss it.
Fascinating.
So, you want to say something before we start, mate, or should we watch the video?
No, I think this is a great subject. The manipulation of the masses, people in general, by the state. I love this subject. Yeah, it's great.
I know. I knew you were gonna like it. As I was watching the video, I said this one for Tony because he's gonna love it. But I was thinking that we very seldom use support videos, but in this case, it's very important that we watch it together. So if you don't mind, let me prepare a little bit and we will be right.
What we're talking about here are core motivations. Okay. And core motivations are levers that you can use to control someone's behavior. And there's four of them. And they break into a acronym that we at the agency call RICE, R-I-C-E. Mm-hmm. The R stands for reward. Reward is the first core motivator. Mm-hmm. The second is ideology. Mm-hmm. And we spend a lot of time talking about ideology today, right? C is coercion. Mm-hmm. E is ego. Okay. So every human being, sorry, what was it, R? The R was reward. Reward, okay. Yeah. So every human being, and we define human beings at the agency as anybody with a neurotypical brain. Okay. Right? So somebody who's on the autistic spectrum is still a human being, but we may not be calling them average or typical, right? We'd be talking about them as on the spectrum versus a typical human being, right? But a typical human being basically has these four core motivators, and everybody has a natural tendency towards one of the four more than any other, but all four will work for all people. When you look at the four in terms of significance and power to actually drive a behavior or control a behavior, they're not equal. The strongest of the four is ideology. If you can ideologically connect with somebody, if you can get into their secret life and create or twist their ideology, you essentially have the strongest control over that person you can have. And we've seen this. We've seen this in highly religious communities. You've seen this in extremist terrorist groups. You've seen this in, abusive relationships, right? People can cling to an ideology so strong that they abandon rational thought.
They attach their entire identity to the ideology. Correct. So is this where you get divisiveness between left and right wing, or people, they tie their identity to the ideology?
Exactly. And then that person becomes very easy to control.
Yes. If you control the ideology.
If you control the ideology, or if you direct the ideology, right? Yeah. So you got it, right? And that's one of the four core motivators. That's the strongest. The second strongest is ego. And most people would say that that's fairly obvious, right? When we talk about ego, we're not talking about egotistical. Two different things, right? Egotistical means somebody who thinks it's all about them. Ego has to do with how you want to be perceived by others. So a very sacrificial person who is not at all egotistical still has an ego. They actively make the sacrifices that they make publicly because they want to be seen as a sacrificial person. They want to be seen as a giver. They want to be seen as a leader. They want to be seen as selfless, right? They have an ego.
Right.
It's just not what we typically call egotistical.
So is that then the actions they're taking to create their public life?
Correct.
There we go. Okay.
Correct. They're shaping their public life because of the ego they want to protect or project, right? So RICE, reward, ideology, coercion, and ego. Ideology is the strongest of the four. Ego is the second strongest. The weakest is coercion. Because if you recall, we're in someone's secret life. We have used the know, like, trust process to build trust with this person to gain access to their secret life. Well, now once we use a coercive technique, once you hold a gun to someone's head, once you give them an ultimatum, once you say, that once you demonstrate a threat that leverages or leans into their shame or their guilt or, their abuse, once you do that, you inherently break part of the trust that they have in you. You introduce the question, the shadow of doubt. Should I trust this person? should I listen to this person? And even though you're in their secret life, it's very unlikely they're ever going to let you out, right? But that doesn't mean that they're going to give you full cooperation inside their secret life. And that's why coercion is so dangerous, because you only get one chance. If you coerce somebody one time and you're caught, you never get back to where you started ever again. If you've ever been cheated on by a girlfriend or lied to by a family member, you know, you never get back to where you were.
Yeah, for sure.
So coercion it's very high risk for very low return. Now, does that mean that we don't coerce people sometimes? No, not at all, because coercion still works.
Yes.
You just have to be prepared that if you're going to coerce, like, it's never going to be the bond, the connection, the control will never be as strong as it was the first time.
Is it more than a measure of last resort?
That's exactly
You prefer ideology or ego before coercion?
Yep. And then, of course, the missing piece is reward. And reward is difficult because reward changes, right? I would have done a lot of things for $1,000 when I was 18. I wouldn't do much for $1,000 right now, right? And your rewards change. A week of vacation paid in Tahiti sounded nice then. I don't really want a week off, and I don't really want to get on a plane to Tahiti. And I've got 2 kids and a wife and, you know, a household I have to worry about too. So rewards are constantly shifting. So the power that comes along with being able to control those rewards is also constantly shifting.
Yes.
There was a day where you and I probably would have put our name down on a piece of paper to win a free car or to win a free, you know, holiday trip.
For anything.
Oh, yeah, right? We would have put our name and our email address and our phone number. We would have said,
When we're 18.
yep. But now nobody gets my phone number and my name for free.
Yeah.
Right? It just doesn't, that's not how.
All right, mate, we're back. I stopped the sharing.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So, no, go ahead. Give me your impressions, and then I'm gonna give you. There's a few points I want to make. The only one before we start is certainly this person is not a candidate for our future segment, money as energy, because the amount I was thinking when I'm in the possibility to share was exactly $1,000 for a chat. So he already said he's not gonna do it. Okay, so
Sure.
apparently not
Yes.
everyone is a candidate. I think $1,000, unless you're very rich, for 90% of humanity is an amount that changes a little bit your
That's
life. You make a
Yeah.
payment for school, you buy the books of the semester and probably be left with money. It's probably the gas you will spend in a semester of school. So I think there are a lot of things you can do with $1,000, even a medical procedure or something like that. So
I could easily.
he's probably doing very well for himself. So
Yeah, it must be.
So
No one really gets
go
his
for it,
money.
mate. Go for it.
Okay, yeah. It's RICE, RICE. This is CIA methods. I think reward and ideology, coercion, ego, it's the method they use to control us, not wittingly, but it's unwittingly. So normally the person isn't aware they're being controlled. It's under their nose, secret. And it's such a horrible thing they do to us. You know, it's just so deceitful and dishonest, immoral. But these are the people that run us anyway. I think the reward factor will only work with certain people. Like you say, £1,000, $1,000, if you're rich, it ain't going to matter to you, so it wouldn't affect you. Ideology, that's a very interesting one. That's the one that is stealth, done by stealth. So you believe in a method or a alleged pandemic or something, and you buy into it. They don't need to do anything next because you already bought into it. You're like a puppet on their string. And like he said in the video, we can take an ideology. If you believe in it, we can then lead you where we want you to go. So with any ideology or any narrative, because they're all stories at the end of the day, like a storybook, the person is following a storyline, and they can take them anywhere. They can take this person anywhere. And I used to buy into the system as well once, thinking that the news was real. The school told me the truth, and the newspapers were telling me the truth. But I thought it'd be quiet here. And once I found out that it's just a pack of lies, the whole lot of it, I'm aware. So I'm not guided unknowingly. I'm now the captain of my own ship. So the ideology part doesn't affect me. Reward don't affect me. Yeah, coercion, you can torture me, beat me up, kill me. But I'm not going to play your game because I know what it's wrong. And ego, same thing. But yeah, it's really quite disgusting how we're treated by these agencies and dishonesty behind it. So I think, yeah, we are, once we're aware of what's going on, we can defend ourselves against it. But it's a very psychological tactic most of it. So yeah, I'll just say, once you're aware, you can defend against it. But it's a very interesting subject.
Yes, mate.
Just think that's yeah.
No, thank you for that. Yes, we totally agree. And I don't wanna, I always want to clarify when we speak, when I'm alone on my alone shows, and when I have you and Jeannie and everyone, we don't claim to be different. We don't claim to be special. Different, maybe, special, very important, or better.
Yeah.
No, we don't
No.
claim to be that.
No.
But we're certainly, I think we're mostly free from these manipulation methods, which they do work. I agree, they do work. But I disagree with this person that he says they work for all, what he called it, that he used the word, basically normal thinking human being. I mean, he explained about autism. I'm sure Alzheimer, memory problems, or mental problems, or split personality, all of these subtypes of people don't apply because you have other issues that you are not cognitive functioning.
Yeah, neurotypical.
But neurotypical, exactly. He used that word, neurotypical. But I disagree, mate, because, for example, ideology, they're not going to get us, you and I, with ideology anymore. Yeah, he claimed it was the most important one of the four. They're not going to get us at all. Okay?
No.
They're not going to get us at all. Reward, it depends. I mean, you could offer me whatever, but I know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to, so you're not going to get me to do something I don't want. Very important. Get me to do something I don't want, which you will think if you offer me a reward, because you offer me whatever. I have my, even if I need the money, mate, I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do something against my own intuition like you, just because of the money. So they also are not going to get us through reward. I want to clarify. I want to, as you were saying it, and as I was watching the video, I want to put an example. I'm going to use for everyone watching. If you're not watching the screen, please watch it. About the, we know what?
Yes.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. Still ongoing. I think it has cooled down a lot all throughout the world. This thing of do it. And they were giving out, mate. I remember from the top of my head, they were giving out a hamburger and fries.
That's right.
Okay. That doesn't seem to me like a lot of reward, to be honest. So, okay.
And not very healthy either. Not very healthy either.
I remember in another state of the United States, they were giving $100 US. Okay, it's not a lot of money, but we are getting better reward-wise. What else? I don't remember, but they used it. Okay, they used it a lot. And I said that sadly here in Mexico, you know what was the reward, mate, that a lot of people used? Very sad.
Travel.
No, not travel. No, not at all. As they were interviewing people on the line, they say it's the first time the government gives me something for free. So I'm here to, because it's free. No. That was the reward. That was the reward. It was a free thing. That's why I believe someone, was Jeannie or you, someone, I remember one time mentioned what happened if they would have charged for it. I said, whole different deal. A lot of people throughout the world did it because it was free. That was the reward. That in a way, it's a reward. It's not costing me. So it's something free. So it's like free ice cream, free pizza.
That's it.
So reward. I don't know about that one. Also, reward is not general, as you say. Because if you go to a rich person, I'll give you $1,000, he's not even gonna listen to you. Okay?
Yeah.
He's not gonna, I'm not saying I'm rich or anything like that, but I do remember one time in an airport or something, they offer a lot. It's a scam. It's not a scam, it's a catch. There's a catch, okay? That they offered 4 nights free at the hotel. Totally free. But you have to go to a sales pitch, very long, 3 hours and that, because they want to sell you a timeshare on that hotel. So they start with the 4 nights for free. And because I knew already where it was going, I remember one time, they usually operate in the rental car thing. As you're renting the car and you're putting the bags, I think they pay them or something. They get a commission or something. And they say, hey, sir, will you like 4 nights of hotel for free? And I said, no, because I already knew. What? You don't want something for free? No. I said, it's totally free. I said, no, it's not totally free. I have to go and, yes, but you don't have to buy. Yes, but I have to be there for a full morning and, and they torture you. Because I did it once. That's why I knew.
Yeah.
The first time I went there and they have, it's not one salesman. They have different levels of salesman and they start very sweet and they end up very aggressive. Very aggressive.
Sure.
But you signed that you were going to be, or you can walk out, but you lose the 4 nights. You see how it works? You can walk out anytime. I have the presentation here. So I remember one time I was watching the time in the cell phone or whatever, and And I asked, is the 3 hours up? And no, there's another guy coming. And I said, you know what? That's it.
Stress.
And they gave me that. That's the time I went, and they gave me the nice. But you see, these are known methods, mate. And the other one I wanted to talk about is coercion, because I shared privately with you that I'm struggling, and for the first time in my life financially, and because of the first time in my life, I end up in what is called there's a name in English. Basically, I stopped paying a credit card. Okay, I couldn't do it anymore. Default. I defaulted for the first time in my life. Not bankrupt, but just that thing. Okay.
Yeah, happens.
So it started with phone calls, which my phone is set up that if I don't have you registered, it's not gonna ring. Then it started with SMS. Then it started with WhatsApp. Then they started calling the op. Then they started sending me emails. Then they started. So coercion gets to a point.
Yeah.
In my book, that the story I just want to share is they up it up. Okay, up it up until they got my attention. I said this because they started threatening me with my house that we're gonna do something, not take it away, but we're gonna block it because you have a debt with us and stuff like that. Okay. So I called up the lawyers and I said, hey, I wanna settle. Okay, let's work something out. And the lawyer started very aggressive. Remember, I shared this with you, and I said, you know what? If you are gonna shout to me and threaten me, I'm gonna hang up. Okay. Yeah. I said, okay. But he started, thinking through coercion, aggressive coercion. He was gonna get me to be more afraid or something like that. So for me, coercion is an interesting one because we shared that in wars and that. I'm not sure they wanna treat you the worst they can. I think they wanna kind of become your friends and that, because I don't know, the better relationship you have with someone you are through coercion, I think it works better for everyone. What do you think of that, mate, on the tools?
Yeah, I agree.
Reward and coercion.
Reward and coercion, it's like two opposites, isn't it? It's like carrot and stick.
Yes.
Reward, coercion. So if they have to go reward first, because that's the nice guy, like good cop, bad cop. Now the good cop comes in, hello mate, it's cold in here, isn't it? Do you want a cup of tea? You're in the interview room or something. And then, do you want a cigarette? I've got a sweet. And he's all nice to you, but he wants the same thing as the bad cop who comes in afterwards. So it's like, if he don't get anything out of you, if you don't cooperate with the good cop, he goes out and the bad cop comes in. Like, give us what we don't know. Where was you? And they, rough you up a bit. And it's like, that's coercion. So they'd rather be nice because it's easier once you're talking or once you're cooperating with the ideology or whatever it is they're involved in, you freely give it to them. It's less struggle for them because you're cooperating. And if you're not aware that you're giving away money or information or cooperation, they're tricking you into their game. But if you're aware, then they give you the bad cop, carrot and stick, the coercion. So it's just like in life, you've got a pleasure and pain principle. People would always veer towards the pleasure side of life and avoid the pain. It's sort of a natural instinct in humans, in animals. If they're in pain, they steer away from it, they avoid it and go towards the pleasure side. So comfort, warmth, a good belly full of food, shelter, rather than choosing to sit out in an open field in the rain and the cold. So it's built in us. It's our survival mechanism. We always like the comfortable side of life, and they know that, so they play on it. So they give us the reward is the comfort. They try and bribe us with the comfort and reward. And psychologically, we think they're our friend because they're giving us good things. But like Mike Tyson said a quote once, he said, not everyone that fights you is your enemy, and not everyone that helps you is your friend. So you've got to know who you're dealing with, which type of person, a wolf in sheep's clothing, so they come at you in disguise. So yeah, I say the reward is an option first, and then if they can't get you on the reward side, they'll try and beat you or just beat you into submission with the coercion. So yeah, it's just a bullying tactic, really, isn't it? I say. Yes,
and this gentleman on the video, we all watched it, but just remembering what he said, that he mentions that coercion is the one that works not as good as the other one, so less of the four or something like that. It might be the case but I will say that it's the only one that works for everyone. Because coercion through force or aggression or pain, I mean, you can say you're going to handle it as much as you like, mate, but
Yeah.
believe me, I never been tortured in my life, but I'm sure through torture, they will get you to do almost whatever, okay?
Yeah,
So,
possible.
and I remember in a movie, excellent, one of my favorite movies, German movie, The Life of the Others. I know you have seen it.
I've seen that. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's a good one. And
Stasi, innit? Stasi?
the Stasi, which many say was actually worse than the KGB, some agents, the
Sure.
aggressiveness and that. And I believe the movie starts with an interrogation. And it's very funny what happens, mate. Apparently, psychologically, when you are saying the truth, you get upset, mate. I mean, you say it once and then, no, it's not true. Okay, you say it again and you say, oh, yeah, it gets to a point that, you know what? I mean, you're saying the truth.
Yeah.
And this person at the end of the interrogation says, I mean, the fact that he was so calm and that, trying to convince you, you're lying. You see how psychologically. So
Yeah.
when you're telling the truth, and I think it's right. And when you're telling the truth, I'm saying the truth. There's nothing more. Okay, you get
No.
upset, like, why I'm being tortured if I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
But if you're
Well,
trying to
that's
hide
right.
something, maybe you kind of play along. I know it. Very interesting stuff. This
Yeah.
we're not saying it's right. We actually, it's a sad, as you say, it's very sad. They use these tactics of manipulation. But as I was telling a friend recently privately, he was telling me, because as I say, I had to sell a car. I shared that with you. I had to sell a car to settle my debt, which
That's
is not
right.
a big deal. I'm still here and it's just a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But my friend was saying, why do you do it? I mean, just tell them to go screw themselves. I mean, they're not going to do anything. They're just threats. And I told him, you have to experience it because they have a
Yeah.
very well-oiled machine of
Yeah.
kind of
Oh, yeah.
psychological torture, okay?
Yeah.
The threats, especially they know how to pressure, okay?
Yeah.
They know
Yeah.
how to pressure. And it gets to a point that they are legally allowed to, I mean, there's an excellent Italian movie, The Debt of Others, something like that, or We Must Pay Our Debt, something like that. I'm sorry about the names, to 2018. Exactly about
Yeah.
these agencies, collection agencies, that they get
Yeah.
sold the debt from the bank. So you see, the bank
Right.
doesn't wanna mess with you anymore. So he
Yeah.
sells your debt. It's actually a real thing, by the way, worldwide. This happens.
Private
They
company.
sell your debt, but at a percentage, usually very low. They sell it 20% or something like that
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
a collection agency, which takes the risk to get whatever money they can from you. Of course, they want to get more than the 20 or 10% or
Yeah.
40% or whatever.
That's the
But
profit.
the methods they use, mate, some
Yeah.
depends on the ethics, I guess. But some they use physical aggression. I mean,
Yeah.
this notion that they break your legs, they do break your legs. I mean, it's very sad. Physical, psychological aggression. They go to your place of work and start shouting. He's a
Right.
thief. He owes us money. Don't do business with him.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
Shame them.
In the movie, they will have like a business meal, and they go in the business meal and say, "This guy you are doing business with, he owes us 80,000 euros or whatever." And the other person says, "Oh, we're not gonna do business with him," and they walk
Yeah.
out. So he lost.
Those odds.
So they do that, and again, coercion might be the lowest version of manipulation, but I think it's the one that is absolute. It gets to a point that it works, and in the movie, even the ones that they were hesitant at the end, they would sell for something, saying, "You know what? I just want you to stop." So
Yeah.
settle. Okay.
Yeah. Aggravation. Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. It's like Chinese water torture. The little dripping a tap on your head.
Yes.
Like little bit. At first, it's like, oh, that's all right. I can take that. I can cut a few phone calls. I can take a couple of emails and a text message, and it gets more heavy. And then it's drip, and it starts to wear you down. And eventually, if you're not, you don't have another strategy to deal with it, you can't take the pressure. It's too much. And these people know that. And it's all psychological, what do you call it? Constant. It's constant. So they build up the pressure in you over time. And like sleep deprivation, they can call you during the night or early in the morning. So you have to get up and go to bed late and you lose sleep. That's another tactic these people use. So, and that makes you weak psychologically and physically. So if you're not getting enough sleep, and food, if you don't eat well, and it all adds up. And the phone calls and sabotaging your meetings and all this. It's all accumulative. It's accumulative. So yeah, it's all psychology, and they use it on us. And when there's money involved, it seems they don't have any limits. So I'm glad I don't value money too highly, just enough to live on, get by. And yeah, the reward, ideology, coercion, and then ego. I think with the ego, if you haven't, like the guy said, if you're involved in something and you want to be seen as a do-gooder, a saint, I'm a good person, I'll do it, help others, like a martyr, you are also susceptible to ego, as well as the opposite of ego, being like, oh, I'm the best there is, I'm great, I'm fantastic, look at me. So there's two types of ego. And if we're not, it's knowledge. If you're aware of this stuff, this persuasion tactics, you can be forearmed against it. You can protect yourself from it. But yeah, ego is also a very good one, where they can play you against your weaknesses. They find out you're vain. You like to look good, and they praise you. Oh, aren't you good looking? Oh, that's a nice suit, beautiful suit you've got, sir. And they play on your good side, so they know how to manipulate. Yeah, I mean, ego is another good one.
Yes, and this person clarified that, because we're gonna now talk about the other two. Remember, it was Rice. Reward, ideology, coercion, ego. So we went with the first letter and third letter, reward, coercion, and now with the ideology, ego. He does mention that ego is not egocentrical. It's not. It's actually the ego of the need of the validation, I think. Yeah. They use that, as you say. Oh, and one tactic, I think, is social networks, all of them, that there's this phenomenon going on. For me, it's extremely sad, mate. Extremely sad, especially it happens with women, that they post a lot of selfies to get the pampering, okay? The likes, you're beautiful, the comments, and that.
That's it.
It's extremely sad, mate. Extremely sad that they have developed this, because that's not being egocentrical. That's you need the validation. You're beautiful. You're beautiful, and even you are. Who's the standard? Okay, I mean, you're beautiful in what standard? I mean, you are beautiful. That's it. It's an absolute. Your spirit is beautiful, and the spirit is equally beautiful. Yours to mine, to everyone listening, and everyone around the world. So, this notion that we need the validation, mate, it's also a tactic, I think, because then it's the thing that you need the out there, which you don't.
That's it.
What will you do without your government? What will you do without your religion? That's ideology as well, but that's also, I think, through the ego. Okay, what will you do without your religion? What will you do without going to school? What will you do without I don't know, whatever, all out there, friends or something, which is nice to have friends. I'm not saying you should be alone, but at the end, you don't need anyone or anything.
No, it's that. That's a great point. Actually, it's they want you to feel not enough. They want you to feel lacking and an outsider. You're not adequate. You're not enough. So you need to do what we tell you to do, so that you're accepted and have worth. So yeah, join our club, join our religions, join our watch our TV programs. Fit in with what we tell you to fit in with, and then you'll be validated. Because you don't want to be the outsider, do you? You don't want to be the weirdo over there on your own. Really no mates, they call them over here. Yeah, it's like, and that affects the person's ego. It's like, oh no, I don't want to be, I can't be that person. No, I'm going to fit in. I'll do what they tell me. Yeah, it's another very devious tactic. Yeah, fit in or you're no good. You're not worthy. Yeah, good point.
Yes. I think that's very unfortunate. I think it's very unfortunate that who knows if that was one of the major reasons for social networks, which I do believe everything is part of the everything, in the sense that they work for this system, that everything works for: religions, media, government, everything is part of, this tactic of, and what's the best playmate? Be free. Don't attach to rewards. And I understand that if someone comes and says, I'm going to give you $1 million, I'm going to listen. So it solves my problems. All of them. So I'm going to listen. Okay, I'll give you $1 million if you do this and that. No. But, as I said, that's the R. If they come with the ideology one, it's just not gonna work with us, mate, because we
No.
have transcended that. I think that's
a good word.
I remember when I shared, I think on the Spanish show, on a Spanish
Yeah.
show, that a few years ago, mate, someone had a pastor friend, you know, that they invited to gatherings. He was relaxed guy. He will drink. So he was a Catholic priest, okay, officially or something. But
Yeah.
they will invite him. And one time I went ahead and made a mistake of sharing what I believe, that, you know, that we have a divine connection, that we're connected to the Creator, that we're all brothers and sisters. And he was listening respectfully. And then he said, you know what? For your own sake, stop it with this. This is pagan. This is not religious. He says, this is not spiritual. Again, he judging and he talking in
Yes.
absolutes. Like, how do you know? I mean,
Yeah,
and
how
then he
does he know?
said, this is metaphysical. This is you're using bad energies, bad connections to the divine in a way.
That's bad. That's
And then he says, this is basically Satan's work. You are controlled by
Oh.
Satan. I said, wow. So then I allow him to talk, and I said, you know what, Father? Thank you. You said your piece. Don't
Yes.
worry about me. And he said, and you're going to hell. It's a given. It's up. It's
oh,
for
that's
sure.
emotional blackmail.
Yeah. So I said, you know, Father, thank you, but don't worry about me, because if someone is going to hell, it's going to be me. So you made your point. You made your effort.
That's it.
I says, oh, so you're not going to change? Not for a second, because
No
I
way.
know what I know. It comes from within. Okay.
Yes.
It has the perfect validation. I'm sorry if I offend you, but I don't need yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need you.
It's not even that it's nice to have it. I don't truly need it. I'm
Yeah.
perfectly fine. So
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, which I'm open to be, you're not open to be wrong, because you're talking in absolutes.
Exactly.
I'm open to being wrong. And if I end up in hell, then I end up in hell. And I brought it to myself. That's it. But what a sad universe that you have to have an ideology. And if you don't attach to a certain ideology, I remember an atheist on a video, very funny stuff. He said, imagine we all go to heaven at the same time, and there's someone there and says, okay, who's Muslim? Oh, me. You are the ones that got it right, so you're going to heaven. And all of the rest, you're going to hell. The Christians, the Jews, the Buddhists, the whatever.
Yeah.
All of the rest, you were wrong, by the way. It was Muslim. And they said, so the second, in another example, okay, so everyone is there. All the Christians, okay, you guys were right. And the Muslims, oh my God, we should have been converted to
That's it.
Imagine
like
that, man. Imagine
Crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Crazy, yeah.
It's like buying a lottery ticket, isn't it? Oh, I've got the Hindu religion. Yeah, I'm going to heaven.
You were a winner. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't work like that. I think we an innate sense of worth, an innate sense of value. If only we stop for 2 seconds and realise that. But they keep distracting us outwards, like you say. Look over here, look over there, look over there. Oh, you need this, you need that, you need to make us dependent on them, for them to give us worth, when we don't need anyone's value. We are already worthy. And if you don't understand that, if you can't feel that in your own essence, like I'm just here now in the open air, it's raining, it's lovely. I'm breathing. Got a nice coffee there, I've had a sandwich, talking to you, nice conversation with you. I'm alive, I'm conscious, I'm breathing good air, well, fairly good air. Life's good. And this is my spirit, this is my consciousness. This is what God takes home. When I've done with this, God puts me somewhere else, or he takes me to source. But the consciousness that I'm living this through this body with is my worth. God put the spirit in me. We're all the same, we're all equal, we all have the same spirit. And this world is trying to con us into, what's the word, like a magician's trick. Oh no, that's no good, put it over there. Look over here. Look, this is your value, look here. And yeah, it's a very wicked world, sophisticated tactics. And yeah, I think people will realise when they're on the deathbed, they say there's no repentant sinner like on the deathbed. They look for God. The last thing they call out for is God. So let them carry on. Let them carry on with their money and their lies and their tricks. Because I don't need any of it, and I'm happier, you know. So the CIA, the MI5, the MI6, the MI3, the government, the banks, all their money, and they're wrinkled, fat bellies, can't breathe properly, always scared to lose their money, threatening, hating people for having more than them. Keep it. You're welcome. I'm happy. I've got nothing, and I'm happier. So, or happy. So yeah, I don't see looking outwards, like you say, mate, is helping anyone. Look inwards to yourself and understand. Just breathing, being alive and breathing. That's the magic. So yeah, RICE, not for me.
Yes, mate, yes. What a beautiful, inspired message. And
Thanks.
I agree completely that, I mean, these are tactics. The unfortunate part is they work, okay? Is they work. And if you are affected by it, controlled by it, manipulated, because the show is about tactics of manipulation. It doesn't mean that you're an idiot or stupid or something like that. It just means they work. I mean, they work. As I shared, now the tactic to get me to settle my problem, you knew how much it affected me, even physically, and the stomach and all that. And it affected me when I woke up in the middle of the night. I was thinking about that. So they know. It's impossible that you have someone harassing you and you ignore it like something like that. Okay. I shared with you many times that I believe is the core belief of monks that go to the mountains is exactly that. I mean, in their case, it's not to be harassed or not. It's just not be part of this world, because so much of that happens on this world all the time. Just think about publicity, mate, or advertising. It's a tactic, mate. It's well proven. It's well proven that they are gonna try to get your attention. And you in London, I cannot imagine them flashing, and now with video, and I know Piccadilly Circus is probably different than I remember it, but you know, they flash everything to you. They want your attention, mate. It's a manipulation technique, well oiled, well proven. It works. Oh, advertising doesn't work. Believe me, it works, and it works. Remember these ideas of they put subliminal messages in videos and stuff. It works. It's true, and it works. It's true. It's a conspiracy theory, I guess, but it works. They do it in so many ways. So someone asked me, how are you free on this world? Well, you're free in the inside. In the out there, you don't control it.
No.
So it's not you're not gonna change the out there. That I never imply that. I imply go within, as you say. Go within. And go by your own intuition. Leave the rock, as you say on the metaphor, okay? Leave the rock and just trust the process. And then you're gonna be free. The only one of these four that I believe still will control you forever is the coercion, physical coercion or torture, basically. Okay, because it's impossible to be in a chair and they get a hammer and they bang you. I mean, it's impossible. Even your Rambo or Commando or this.
That's it.
We seen the Chuck Norris. I don't know if you know about Chuck Norris in the 80s. They will torture him and leave him for days, and then he will come and shoot everyone. Come on, that only happens in the movies. Okay? This guy will have talked days ago, okay, and he doesn't share any information and all that. And the electricity, for example, I think is one of the worst kinds of torture, because they say it hurts. That you're begging after they do it. You're begging. I'll tell you whatever. I'll do whatever. Okay. So that one, unfortunately, because we have a physical body, mate. That's why I insist. We have a physical body. The pain is through the physical body. The spirit never suffers at all. It doesn't have. It's not physical. The pain, the worry, the suffering. That's why I have such a problem right now of this idea that we have to come here again and again. Through what? To experience physicality.
Yeah.
If you really want to leave it behind, why should you come here again and again and again? It does sound as a manipulation. It does sound like that. Okay.
Yeah, I think that it's because the body is so fragile. It's a clue. It's a clue to the power of the consciousness that is animating it. Like consciousness animates matter. So it's all around us. It's in everything, consciousness, I believe. Even the stone and the grass, but not to the same extent. So we should go within and enjoy this body enjoying the world. So just be a witness of the body, this body is the experiencer. The body mind is the experiencer of the world. But we witness the experiencer. So if we could get back to that level and understand this body is our car, this is our ride, this is what gets us around, this is what experiences the world. And we can taste our food and strawberries, chocolate, biscuit, coconut, mango, sights, sunsets, snow, mountaintops, everything about the world we can experience through this body. But if we're not looking at the world from this viewpoint, and we're looking over there to what they're showing us to distract us with, we're not living our own life and appreciating it properly. So if we understood that that's our enjoyment, living our life on our own from our own experience, we won't be susceptible to the tactics of coercion and reward. It won't matter, because it'll be like, no, me enjoying my life on my own 2 feet is priceless. There's no amount of money you can give me for me to be independent of it all. I'm living it my way. I'm savouring life my way. And no matter what you do to me, it cannot match that. So I think people need to reach a point where they're content living their own life and understanding that they're the only one that can live it, not through a TV screen or radio or a bank's stack of banknotes. That's not living life. They're middlemen to life. They're obstacles to life. Push them away and live your own life. Savour the world and life around you and everything in it. Enjoy life. That's what we're meant to do. So yeah, we've been hoodwinked, mate. We've been conned with this
Yes,
slavery system. Yeah, mate.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. But I guess the good point made is, I do believe, and you know me, I'm an optimist, I guess, that we're changing, and a lot of people are changing. And again, it doesn't matter if wherever you feel you are, this is just a line. Just imagine there's a line here, and you're here, and maybe Tony's here, and I'm here. I know it doesn't matter. It's just a position. And the good part is you always have the possibility to advance in the line. You have the possibility to go within today, if you haven't so, and say, this is not going to work with me anymore. That's why people, mate, are getting away from television, news channels or newscasts or something like that. For me, I don't remember the last time I watched one. Maybe it was in a hospital or something like that. I was waiting, and so you want your mind distracted, and you're tired of the cell phone and stuff like that. And they're almost ridiculous. And those are also prepared. They have specific tactics, mate.
Yes.
Because they say almost word by word the same things in different parts of the world. Word by word, almost.
It's identical, isn't it?
Breaking news, accident in highway. Now, oh my God, 2 people are dead, and now like the world is coming to an end. It's to get you in this, to lower you and control you, because you are more controllable when you are lower in vibration, whatever you want to call it. I know these terms, frequency, vibration, resonance. Some people take it the wrong way and say, oh, so you feel so spiritual. No, but by watching those things, and you especially embrace it, and oh my God, you lower yourself. You are allowing it.
Yeah.
These tactics, again, with the exception of torture, okay? These tactics all have to go through your own free will, and you allow them to function.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think you're on the money there, because the body is just fragile. It's not meant to take punishment. It's not meant to take only so much punishment it can take. But I would say even that, if they've tortured you and got you to do something against your will, that doesn't count, because you were forced. It was force. So that wasn't my free will still. So it still doesn't count. But yeah.
You're totally right. You're totally right, mate. And there's a spiritual concept in that, okay? When the thing happened, okay, I'm gonna be graphic again for some the ones that are not watching the video and just listening. I'm being graphic. When that happened, someone told me what is stopping them from coming house to house with a gun, the army. Hey, we're gonna do it. What's stopping them? Exactly that. That will be forced. That will be without consent.
Exactly.
That will be not through your own free will. If you made a line because it was free, because they gave you a hamburger, because you were afraid, because all of that was with your consent. All of that.
Yes.
But if they come to your house, they force you, I'm not going to be explicit, but they force you.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. That's like torturing you and saying, you're going to do this. Okay. But I'm not
Yeah.
allowing it.
I'm
You're
not agreeing to
physically
it.
forcing me. Okay. And that has
That's
to be
it.
a different karma, by the way.
Yeah.
Remember the show on intentions, actions
Yeah.
and intentions. Okay.
Very
Some
important.
people claim that everything is the action. And one thing is running someone over because you made a mistake, because you were maybe blink and suddenly you run someone over. And one thing is grabbing a gun and putting a bullet in their head. That's total. The action is the same. The person is gone.
That's it.
But the intention is totally different. It's almost one spectrum. Okay. It's full intention to almost no intention. So I believe when it happens, as you were saying, there's no intention. So they don't get the full benefit. But sometimes I think they do go to that extremes, okay?
Yeah.
And it all depends on the situation, I guess. But as the person on the video was saying, they still use tactics, okay? He actually mentioned it, coercion. It still works in some cases.
Yes. I think in general, in life in general, like in a big city, like where you are, London, all over the world, we have laws, we have rules, and we have police and judges and politicians, schools. And it's like, if you choose not to send your child to school and homeschool them, they'll put all the pressure on in the world to make you send that child to school. They'll fine you, they'll send you a fine. You haven't got to pay it, you can choose not to pay it. But everything is a decision. So even by saying, I'm not sending my child to your schools, I'm homeschooling because your schools are toxic. You know, I'm not paying for a TV license. You don't have a TV, they're toxic. And if you stand to your guns, it might cost you a lot of money, it might cost you a lot of stress, but you have, in karmic justice, your right to say no. You're standing your ground, you're saying no. But if after pressure and pressure and pressure, you give in, they can still say to you, yeah, but you chose to join us, you chose to do it. You say, no, I gave in because of the pressure. They go, yeah, but it's still choice, that's still your choice. You gave in, you chose to give in. See what I mean?
Yes, I totally understand, mate. And they, I mean, in my opinion, it depends on the country, but I think on almost all countries in the world, it's impossible not to join. For example, when a child is born, you go to a registry, and because if you don't do that, the child legally doesn't exist.
Is that
Legally
a bad thing?
doesn't exist. So you get, I mean, you don't have access to the health system. I mean, it starts trickling down. Okay? When he's old enough, he's not your son legally, so they can take it away because you didn't register him. So it's no, it is, mate. I mean, I'm not saying it's right. Please don't get me wrong. I'm just saying they do coerce you, they do force you to line up to this system, okay? And for example, in the case of the TV license, I'm not saying it's right. There is no TV license in Mexico. I shared my funny story with you when I lived in the UK that I was delinquent for a few months until I got coerced so much, or the worry that they were coming and stuff like that, that I ended up paying for a 6-month special TV license. But for me, it's in that case, don't have a TV. Don't have a TV, and you're fine. You're not forced to have a TV. I feel it's kind of an overstep, because remember I shared with you that at least in Italy, they started a TV license after World War II for reconstruction purposes. So, I mean, they have reconstructed, okay? So they start these taxes and they leave them, and they say, oh, now we're going to use it for the health system. We're going to use it for infrastructure. When you are taxing me and taxing me and taxing me, because I make money, you tax me. I buy something, you tax me, sales tax. I buy a car, you tax me, the whatever it's called, the plates or something. I need to pay. I need help, private health, care, you tax me. So why I watch a TV, even if I have it off all the time, and you tax me? I feel that's an exaggeration. I think it's only in Europe that exists. And I think as TVs are less used, because in Italy, at least, now if you have an iPad or something like that, a tablet, you also need to pay for a TV license legally.
Only if it's live TV, though, isn't it? Only if it's live TV.
They have included now, I think, streaming and that stuff. I mean, they are gonna update it because they know that's the future. Okay. Regular TV is going away. Not now, but maybe in 10 years, 20 years, everything's gonna be electronic. No,
Yeah.
I mean, so
That's right.
who's gonna watch a movie now in 10 years, even now maybe? Who's gonna
Yeah.
go at 8 o'clock and see, let's see what's on when you have these Netflix options and streaming and whatever, and you
Yeah.
watch what you want.
Yeah.
That's
And
gonna
it's also that they in society they kind of introduce these new inventions, these new gadgets and gizmos, and if you don't get it, you feel left out. And there's that ego thing again. So, and your children pester you, Mum, Dad, we ain't got Netflix. Get Netflix. It's great. Such and such has got it down the road, and it's like pressure to keep up to date as well. So it's an ongoing battle, isn't it? Really, to be aware of this coercion and manipulation. Because once you are on board with the new streaming or Netflix, YouTube, whatever it is, you're now you're sucked into the system again. So it's very difficult to live outside the system in any sort of way. Yeah.
Yes.
So
No, go ahead, sir.
it's a tough life, really. If you're not like in the system, it's a tough life to fit in. But that's the point. I don't fit in, and I'm happier than when I fitted in. I'm so much happier than when I fitted in. I was miserable, alcoholic, drinking, it was crazy. And now I don't fit in. I'm at peace. I'm so much freer, happier, clearer to see what's happening. I know their tactics, their ideologies. I know it all. And you see it. You don't even need to think about it. You just see what they're doing. And I think fitting in is the trap. That's the prison. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
On a recent show, I had a show with a lot of information. It was technically the 5D, but nothing out there. It was more how the density of the reality makes you attached to different things. And
Sure.
in 3D, on this reality we have right now, it surprised me as I was reading these slides that there was one FOMO, FOMO, fear
Oh,
of
yeah.
missing out. Okay,
That's it.
and that's exactly what you said. Fear of missing out. Okay. Also, my friend has Netflix, so we must have it.
That's it.
Also, my friend has the new phone, so I need to have it.
That's it.
Also, my friend has a new car, so I need to have that car. There's the fear of missing out. And when you liberate yourself from that,
Yes.
that's a sign, mate. You are evolving. Exactly what you say is a clear telltale sign. You are in a different frequency, okay? Because you are
Sure.
liberating yourself
Yeah.
from that FOMO, from the fear of missing out, by saying, I don't care at all,
Yeah.
if the new phone is out, if the new technology is out, if I don't care. I'm
No, I don't.
happy, I'm free, and I don't care.
I don't look to it for validation. I don't look to it because some people they get Netflix, or not saying anyone specifically, but certain people might get Netflix or an iPhone, a brand new car, and they get it, but they're showing off with it. They're saying, oh, look, this is my new car. Do you like it? Oh, hello, boy, little doggy. Hello. Hello. Sorry, mate. I got a dog here.
No worries. It's very dark, mate. We cannot see it, but we can see you. We can see you because there's. Oh, now I see it. Now I see it.
Hello. Here he is.
She looks a little bit like Mona.
Like Mona.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Same type.
We had a cameo. We had a cameo from the dog.
Yes.
So yeah.
Mate, do you have anything in closing? Because we barely see you now. Oh, now it's better.
Is it?
Yes, it's very dark, I think. And we have gone like for a little bit more than an hour, so we're fine about time.
No, it's not so much more we could talk on this subject. It's the system and its coercion tactics to bully us into conforming into the system. And I think the system is a prison. It's more of it's like a pressure cooker. And unless you're out of it, you don't realize that. You need to get out of the pressure cooker to realize how much pressure is in it. And that's what I would say, mate. And anyone who's waking up now I would say, don't be coerced or bullied into doing anything you're not happy doing. And think for yourself, is that saying again? And yeah, live your own life. That's it, mate. Great chat. Thanks.
Thank you, mate. I'm gonna end with something. I don't know if you recall the movie Contact with Jodie Foster, that there was
Yes.
aliens or what.
Alien.
Oh, very quickly, they sent the schematics to build a spaceship or something like that. And
Yeah.
when Jodie Foster is going, they said, we added, it came with a seat, something like that. I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly, but something around, we added a safety belt, okay?
Sure.
So Jodie Foster puts the safety belt on and she's vibrating a lot and shouting, oh my God. And suddenly she gets an intuition or something, just take it away. And she starts floating in the capsule. Fine. The capsule is moving, but she's fine. She's floating in the capsule, free and happy, and you know.
Yeah.
And that was not part of the schematics. You were supposed to float in the capsule.
Okay.
So using that as a metaphor, I wanted just to introduce what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
You're in the system and you're vibrating because you have the safety on, and you're being compressed by these tactics, and probably many more they have. These are 4, but many more they have, and if you liberate yourself and take the safety away, you're going to notice how you're at peace, how you're the only one I must insist that is still working with me is coercion, physical worry and pain. That's the only one.
Yeah.
Not through ideology, not through reward, not through ego. They're going to get me so far. Even you. For you, apparently all 4 don't work anymore. But for me, the only one, honestly, that is still working, as I said, is the worry and pain part of the financial.
Yeah.
That's still working. But I'm happy that 3 or 4, it's great. So that one I understand. Anyone that says, hey, I need still to pay my bills and I'm very worried because I don't make ends meet. I get you. But at least ideology. Sorry, go ahead, man.
I don't know the future. I could be homeless soon, but I'm susceptible too. You know, the physical pain and that stuff. I have to deal with that too. So
yes, but I think you're better equipped, as you say, and we're all different, I guess. And I'm gonna be better equipped in the future now that I've experienced it. I think what I'm trying to say is that one is very understandable. But if they get you through ideology, if they get you through reward, if they get you through the ego, I'm not saying something wrong with you. I'm just saying you have a choice.
Yes.
It's taking the safety off. You're right now stressed, and for example, oh my God, now with the eclipse, you know, this show is coming way after the eclipse, which I have a lot of inventory, but the eclipse, as we are recording, hasn't happened. It's on Monday. I know you knew that. The eclipse in the US, you probably don't know anything about. Okay, right now here, there's a lot going on. Solar eclipse.
Yes.
Okay, the solar eclipse. Okay. Yeah. So there's people that the world is coming to an end. And relax. Okay, learn to relax and really don't attach to all these things. Go within. Go within. It's a little bit hard to go within when you have to pay a bill, because it's not like money comes out from and you pay. But that one is the one that we are. And how we're gonna win that, mate? There's gonna be a world, and trust me on this one. When you were talking about air, I breathe. Maybe the air is London air, you know, okay, whatever. Yes, I understand what you're saying. But there's going to be a world that everything is going to be like air. So you need to eat, you're going to have something to eat. You need to drink, you're going to have, but you're going to have your needs, not your wants.
Exactly.
Hey, I want a nice car. Maybe there are going to be no cars. Hey, I want to go and watch a soccer game. Yeah, maybe there are going to be people playing in the streets, but like before, like it was not organized, not professional. And they're doing it because they enjoy it. So maybe you enjoy watching. And maybe there's not going to be a rock concert. There's going to be someone playing a guitar in the streets, again, because he's sharing it to the world.
That's it.
He's not charging you. Remember the concept of value. Value is not going to exist. You do things because that's who you are. That's it. Exactly. That's your participation in the universe. Maybe you're going to create things. Maybe you're gonna give others things, but you're not gonna be concerned of saying, "Hey, I do all this stuff, and no one is doing stuff for me." That's the concept of value. Okay, we keep tabs saying, "Hey, I worked all day. Who's gonna work for me now?" Well, you have it wrong in that world. That's a future. Okay?
That's it.
That's a future. So I'm at peace that that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna see it. Are you gonna see it? I don't know, but that's gonna happen. That's the future of humanity. Remember that former name "Humanity Wins" was based on that idea that that's the future of humanity.
Yeah.
And we are in control. Go ahead.
Yes. I say, but at least, you know, our generation, we might have been fooled when we were younger, but we woke up and we're spreading the word about the system. So we're kind of, us and our generation all over the world are spearheading the new earth, if you want to call it, or the new, yeah,
whatever the name, the new world, the new earth,
the new world.
Mm-hmm.
So we're shining a light on this system. We're showing it in its full horror, its full deviousness, and its full manipulation and greed and selfishness. And it's so bright. I'll show you where I am at the moment. This is the embankment.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. The water's shimmering. You've got the waves there. You've got the wheel up there. That's that side. I don't even see it.
Yes. No. Yeah. Yes. We could see it briefly. Yes. Thanks.
So who needs money? You can just walk around and enjoy the sights. You don't need money. But most people are in the restaurants and in the, you know, on the wheel or in the cafes or in the pubs, getting drunk, spending a fortune, and they'll come out with a hangover and miserable, and they don't really like it. It's like, that's not life. So yeah, like our generation now, we're putting out our videos and our words, and we're waking up those that are ready. And like you said, we may not be here to see it, but we're doing our part. Do you know what I mean? We're playing our part.
Exactly.
So,
I totally agree with what you just said. There's ways to enjoy life that don't require a lot of, maybe zero money. So it's an election. Thank you, mate. Have a great night. For everyone watching, please stay for the last 2 minutes of the show. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start the new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you'd like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very